These days, you could never trust anyone around you, not even yourself. Take me, for example. I myself look at the mirror and all I see is a liar. Unfortunately, I once wrote it on the mirror and forgot it was permanent ink, so it has never been removed since then, and the mirror hasn't been replaced. But in all seriousness, the next lady is one more example of why you should never trust anyone. Ashley Lynn, a lady who makes everyday videos on social media, recently bought a house from one of her relatives. I don't know how much she purchased it for, but it better be dirt cheap, not just because it's old and he is her relative, but for the most important reason. The house itself is haunted. Scary, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. He never told her, at least based on the information I have. It seems that he didn't tell her that the house was haunted. Maybe he didn't know, but I doubt that. His daughter even told Ashley that she once heard whispers. But how did Our Lady discover that her newly occupied house is haunted? Well, it all started when she began hearing strange noises coming from upstairs. Even though she has 2 cats, they have nothing to do with these noises. What makes me so confident, though? Well, I don't listen to what critical people say about me. When it comes to the cats of Ashley, they began acting as if they were seeing someone or something upstairs and fixating on the direction of the staircase. It was getting creepier and creepier very fast until the lady began hearing whispers behind her. She obviously freaked out, and that's when the daughter of the relative from whom she bought the house mentioned the paranormal activity she witnessed. Ashley decided to install a security camera in the guest room where most of this paranormal activity is coming from, and what she caught made her reconsider keeping that camera. Her cat was in the room, which made the ghosts mess with the closet doors, opening and closing them.
No one was in the closet. So sometimes I come up here and the closet door is like this. Now, there could be explanations to that, but I came up here because I got a notification on my camera that there was movement. So that's why I came up here and checked the closet. But no one is in the closet. Coco just went in there because, again, she's obsessed with going in closets. I keep this as my extra spare closet, which is random in it, to be honest, like pillows, blankets, things like that. But Coco doesn't really seem scared of a lot of things, especially if it's going to let her into a closet. Like, she loves it. She loves to be in places she's not supposed to be. So she's already thinking of ways she can climb. Also, I did check to make sure there's no crawl spaces, like any attic entrances, and there's not. Yeah, so sometimes Coco does look into this room, freaks me out, but again, if it has anything to do with a closet, she's all for it. She loves to be in a closet. It's so weird. Coco, you're not afraid, are you? Coco, are you afraid? She's not, but no one in the closet. Also, I unplugged the camera because, again, I don't need to know. If it's not evil, it's not hurting me, it's not hurting the cats, we can coexist. I just don't need to see it. Also, that camera is so delayed. Like, all of the notifications come so late, and I could be in here walking around and talking, and I would leave, and there'd be like, person detected. And it's like, oh nope, that was me, duh. So it is very outdated. So I just think this was probably not the best idea, but
the viewer's argument point about the legitimacy of her videos is pretty weak in my opinion. Just because the cat didn't freak out when witnessing the door's activity doesn't mean it was staged. Some cats are just way too chill. Sometimes, when I look at these people's houses I feature on the channel, I ask myself, why can't I buy a house? But then I ask myself again, what's wrong with some of these guys? They just collect all sorts of possessed items and conduct weird rituals in their own property, expecting to come out of it safe. I mean, even if you manage to live happily ever after, which I doubt, you're still going to feel like something is lingering around you. Which takes me to Apollo, the man whom I stumbled upon for a video that I should have had on this list. But instead, and because I was too lazy to try to find that one video between 400 plus videos of his, I decided to show you something else from this dude. He has installed some security cameras inside one of his rooms, which seems to be the basement. The room itself is filled with all sorts of crap. It's almost as if he has a store in there to sell dolls. Now, I'm not so sure if the footage is all from the same room, but with different decorations across the videos. But if not, and these are all different rooms, then that's much worse. That means he spread out his shenanigans across the board. The guy has tried to cast some spell of some sort and tried different rituals, all for the purpose of inviting or communicating with demonic spirits. I have never heard a smarter idea. Like, why would you make it harder on yourself, man? Anyways, that was his decision, and obviously he had to pay the price for such a decision, and he had to pay cash. How terrifyingly corny. So, in videos, you could hear the EVPs, some saying devil, and at times you could hear some faint female voices. What he didn't point out were the orbs. Like, the footsteps were fun and all, but these orbs are a bit too clean. In my opinion, and that's just my own opinion, which I could shove inside my deep dark. Regardless of where I would shove it or what I wanted to say, either you go all the way with this, or you cut it off before this house is for sale. As a father, and I'm not a father, but I'm portraying myself as one at the moment just to fit the narrative of what I'm about to say, I would never let my son experience such pressure under any circumstances because of ghosts. If any ghost were to pressure him, they would have to go through me, and not just physically, but entirely. And since my role ends here with words, I would only do one thing to stop them: take my son and leave in peace. But the father in the next video may have had a different approach to this kind of situation. He has recently moved with his family to a new house. His son has autism, and ever since moving into their new home, the boy has begun experiencing a level of terror he never expected. The house is basically haunted, and the way the family discovered that was through different scenarios they had to witness. One of them was seeing ghostly apparitions of what looked like an old man and an old woman, and even hearing voices. As if it's not clear to them, the house was once occupied by two married elders, and they were so attached to the house that they might have been buried somewhere near it. Or even worse, what if some unfortunate incident took place inside that house where both of their lives were taken away? Well, we are not here for some assumptions. We want real details, and the real details said that the boy was seeing some ghosts that looked so freaky he doesn't want to describe them even to his own dad. He was once scratched by these ghosts too. Once the investigation started, Josh was sitting beside the boy using the EMF detector. He captured some words, but he acted as if nothing was captured just so he wouldn't freak the boy out. Once we went to the second stage, the investigation kicked in for real. Too many wall bangs, and too many sounds of footsteps coming from the floor above the basement. Even when our investigators were on the ground floor, the rushing footsteps coming from the basement still occurred. At some point, one of the team was sitting on the toilet, fully geared and dressed. Fortunately, he conducted a session using a VR headset. This session works by showing creepy images related to the spirits in the place. While he was on it, he got touched multiple times.
This room, I will not go in anymore. I do not like this room at all. I just get a really, really bad feeling in here. It's a heaviness. Like, I just can't, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be around that room. Let me see. Where at, buddy? You see anything?
You don't see anything.
It just like started boning.
There's certainly like a heaviness down here that you don't feel upstairs.
Okay, so I didn't want to say anything with him sitting here because I don't want to add to the situation. I literally caught a crazy Class A EVP. Listen to this.
And you've been trying to communicate with this family. Can you give us a response and let us know?
I've got a bunch of alarms. Can you walk up to my devices? Set one of them off? What the? Can you walk up to my devices? Set one of them off? Hello? Hello? Oh. Cold breeze and a loud bang. Who is walking and knocking on stuff? Can you come out so we can have a conversation? It sounded like that loud bang came from the basement.
What is your name?
I got cold chills.
What is your name?
Walking above me. Holy crap. I heard somebody walking. If you're up there, walk up to one of those red lights for me. Definitely got a creepier feeling down here. Is there more than one spirit inside this house?
Yes, yes.
Yes or no, are you down here in the basement with me? Are you in the attic?
No.
Are you in the room back here behind me that nobody likes? Are you the same spirit that was here last time? That's what we need to do to communicate with each other, okay? Was that you?
The heck's that? Hello? Okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, but... Okay, here we go. That was loud. Something just got hit. What the was that? Oh, something just touched the back of my neck. Okay, sit down, Sean. It's okay. Holy crap. Some I'm gonna definitely have to go back and look at. Oh, what the? Okay. Holy crap. Just talk to me. Stop touching me. Let me go get a different alarm. See if, Yes. The picture of the skull with trauma to the head. Can you... Whoa! Whoa, that was freaking loud. Holy crap.
Sorry.
Makes me a little bit more nervous. Oh, there's something upstairs.
I'm following.
Come on, I know you was up here walking around. Do something.
Sink.
Oh, no way. It just goes sink and then it hits something out in the freaking kitchen.
Sink.
Oh, no way.
Can you knock on this door? If it knocks on the door, that'd be freaky. Can you walk up to that device over there? Let me know if you're here.
No, no, no.
The third guy was definitely not in for anything. That's why his solo queue has ended too early. I mean, after seeing what your partners have experienced, as the last soldier, you either get motivated and charged to be the toughest, or you tremble in fear to the point where you have to pull out early. I always sit at my table making these videos with my back to the wall, not caring whatsoever about whatever happens behind me, not because I'm such a tough dude and I don't get bothered even if a ghost is standing right by my shoulder. Not at all. I mean, the other night I was at the table working when I noticed a roach walking beside me. I never finished my job that day. I have my back to the wall because I just don't think anything intense would happen behind me. But the next video showed me that you can always be wrong about certain things. We have William, the man with his beautiful, modern-looking house. He was doing his job on the table while he set up his camera on the desk to capture whatever happens behind him. For some odd reason, he expected to capture some paranormal activity that day. Anyways, here comes his white glass door, which I have no idea why I'm giving extra details about. The door was closing on its own. Even after multiple attempts from the guy to keep it open, the ghost just didn't let the man isolate himself, fearing he might do some dirty stuff while being alone in the room. Little did they know the door was made mostly out of see-through glass. So the man had enough. He picked up the camera and heard some knocks on the entrance door right after. The other day he began recording after he heard some strange noises. He might have thought it was his dog, but the ghost had something else to say. It turned on the faucet, and then, as William approached the laundry room, he saw what I consider so creepy, a reflection on the shiny refrigerator of a shadow figure passing by. He even had to make up a follow-up video to explain to the audience how he didn't stage anything, and during that video, the light switch, which was attached to the outlet, turned on by itself.
Okay, I'm home alone. I'm trying to get some work done. I'm just gonna leave this here so you guys can see what's happening. No, this is a great time to be doing this. I'm not busy at all. This is a great distraction. Thank you. Leave it open. Stop touching it. Let me work, please. Dude, I know you're back there. I want you to stop. Would you please leave my door alone? I don't care what you do or where you're going, just leave the door alone. Would you? I'm begging you. I'm gonna take the door off your hinges if you don't leave it alone. Here, I'm just gonna show you guys. There's nothing here. It's my front door. It's my hallway. Excuse me. Are you back there again? This has become its favorite spot. Now, and there he is. Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay. Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud. Everyone can see you in their reflection. And it's gone. Okay. I know he's not in here, but I just want anyone who's watching to see. This is too small, but just like it's not. I just wanted you to see. The cabinets are knocking again. I'm leaving. Oh, that's enough for today. Light suddenly turns on as he edits the video right before walking in the room with the beer fridge. Look to the left, he edited it. Okay guys, I want to address this comment because it's been made a few times. Obviously it's daylight, but this is a very dark corner of my home, and at night it gets even worse. That's my garage door, so when you come in, hands are full. It's pretty dark, you need a little extra help, and oh, there it is, the light that suddenly turns on. This is just a faceplate, guys. You take the faceplate off, you put the new one on, 2 screws, 2 connectors, touch the hot, it wires itself. You do not need an electrician. So if you have kids, animals, dark stairwells in your garage, automatic lights are great. There is a link below if you want to get your own. Speaking of animals, it's Charlie's birthday today. Everybody wish him a happy birthday.
Sometimes you just have to explain to people how everything works, otherwise they would become more stubborn to the point where they might create chaos. I know it's not that serious in William's situation, but I just like to over-exaggerate. If I were to be in an investigation of some haunted place and I heard some creepy pale voice telling me to kneel down, I would never kneel, not because I'm too much of a tough dude, but because once I kneel, that means I'm putting myself in a handcuffed situation. I would rather run for my life. Alonzo, in the next video, was investigating a cemetery while it was storming. He began asking any potential spirit to react to his question or get closer or something along those lines. And so he got his response. Some voices in the background, even though these voices were faint and could barely be heard, but according to Alonso, he claimed that one of them told him to kneel down. What made this investigation creepier was how these crosses above the graves were shaking on their own, and even the plants too. I didn't first understand why Alonso was overreacting and screaming at some points, but then I realized he was seeing shadow figures, or at least that's what he claimed. In one scene, a glass bottle, which was placed above the top of one of the graves for some odd reason, moved on its own. How creepy.
Dime, ¿te puedo acercar? ¿Dónde estás? Hola madre, aquí hay algo, amigos. ¿Dónde te encuentras? ¿Dónde te encuentras? Hola. ¿Alguien habló? Alguien acaba de hablar, alguien acaba de hablar, alguien acaba de hablar. ¿Qué dijo? Disculpe. Hola madre, un rayo, un rayo, un rayo. Un rayo, amigos, un rayo. Hola. Uy. ¡Ay, ya madre! ¡Uy, oh, madre, no manches! ¿Vieron eso? ¿Vieron eso? ¿Vieron eso? ¿Vieron eso? No mamen. ¿Quién está ahí? ¿Quién está ahí? Dime quién está ahí. ¿Quién está ahí? ¿Hola? ¿Alguien se encuentra aquí? A la madre, amigos. Siento algo bien raro. Sandra González, saludos. Bendiciones para ella. Qué bueno que ande por aquí, en estos lugares. A la madre, mire, bien, no manchen. ¿Alguien está ahí? ¿Quién está ahí conmigo? ¿Quién está ahí? Bien, se miran muchos mosquitos. Mesa, dijo. ¿Hola? ¿Hola? Mel Rose, mande. No le hagan caso a esa gente, amigos. No les hagan caso a esa gente. Dejen lo que digan, amigos. Dejen que digan lo que digan esa gente. Ay, Dios. ¿Quién está ahí? ¿Quién está ahí? ¿Quién se encuentra ahí? A esa gente le molesta, amigos. Se van, ¿saben cómo se van? Cuando ustedes me mandan regalos, esa gente se va, amigos. Para que más les duela y se vayan, amigos. Se dejen tranquilos un rato, ¿no creen? Me estoy mojando todo. Buenas noches. Hola. ¿Hay alguien aquí? Bien, ¿qué es eso? Bien, ¿qué es eso? Bien, ¿qué es eso? ¿Alguien está allí? Uy. Uy. ¿Quién está ahí?
The number of roaches I saw in this video was just an indicator, in my opinion, that this place might be filled with demons. Yeah, friends, the roach is the devil's favorite insect to embody. That also explains why some of these weird dreams we tend to see sometimes show us a roach. These insects are just disgusting. What also disgusts me more is how some people reach this point of the video and don't subscribe or watch the next video on screen.